All right, all right, all right. Wow, SPY really started to come back there. To kick off the day, the SPY was moving higher in pre-market. We had the jobs data release and SPY was trying to move, but as of now, cooling back off, running down towards 690 again. Good morning and happy Friday out here. I was getting pretty excited that the all-time high would come back into play again today, but that's not the case with how today's action's going. At open, we saw it just stay stagnant. It's been open for 1 minute, but that slight pullback from the high of pre-market's pretty rough. Pulled back, pretty much gave back all the gains there. Let's get... What? What are you saying, Rick? This is the day we've been waiting for? All right. Good morning, everyone. SPY hit that resistance, pulled back hard. Jobs data. Job creation fell a little bit to 50,000. It was pretty close to the expectation of 60,000. Very close. With job creation in December less than expected, the labor market softened more. Just a little bit from the last reading, though. At 56,000 down to 50 this time. Very minimal movement there, but the market initially loved that and popped up. I was looking at the Kalshi odds, and as that released, I noticed that the Kalshi odds were starting to jump more towards 100% for a pause. I thought that was interesting. I feel like there could be some opportunity in buying the cut 25 BPS contract here. It's only at 3%. I would think it could rise a little bit by the time. Well, between now and January 28th, it says 8 days. Sorry, 20 days. The 28th. 20 days away, it says. I think it's technically 19 away, but Kalshi gets weird with their stuff. Zach, I love YouTube. Potters, Matty G. Outlaw. Zach, Jake, Sharpie, Steven, 300Z, Fisher, Micah, Jason, Alexander, Joe Papa, Ramirez, Rick, RSB, and Coconut. Just P. Hey, what's up? Destroy that like button if you're just now joining up. We need to run those up, of course, so YouTube doesn't kill us. Appreciate you, Outlaw. Said Nvidia's pulling back. Part of the reason why SPY's dropping down here at open. Nvidia testing that low from yesterday. This has got to be the most depressing VIX. VIX has been stuck for a long time now. This lower range. Yeah, very, very slow. The VIX does this. It goes through these periods like where I'm pointing at here. Just does like nothing. Here's another. Especially if the market's running up to new highs, VIX is going to be terrible. Intel on the 1 minute. Oh, Intel's looking great again. They had that positive post from President Trump yesterday. He talked about Lip Bhutan and Intel doing good. Even talked about their processors they released. SanDisk and Western Digital is recovering. Let's see. SNDK 354. SNDK is looking pretty good. WDC recovering up too. Western Digital. How about MU? Yeah, starting to come back a little bit at open. Nvidia roaring back to life. At least Nvidia is coming back now with the SPY. Trying to mount a comeback too. All right, SPY. Let's see if you can keep that uptrend going. I like the overall initial move this morning. I was very surprised to see SPY give back those gains like that right before open. Kind of strange to me. Kind of strange. I just made 1,600 on Oklo overnight. Man, Oklo had a big gap up this morning. What's up with that one? Oh, they did a partnership with Meta this morning, didn't they? Yeah, Oklo and Vistra land nuclear deals with Meta platforms. Yep. Oklo's up 19% on that news. Holy shit. Yeah, that was a pretty good gap up here on the chart. Kind of looks normal for Oklo on the chart, though. They've been all over the place lately, and they've had some crazy moves. This move looks pretty normal, if I'm being honest. Man, there was a big money trade on this one from 10.17. Holy shit. That was a really good downwards move there. Usually it's from like low volume user. They said, why are the bid and ask spreads so wide on SNDK? It's weird. You gotta love the market in that sense. And it's an expensive stock too, that keep in mind. But yeah, they are pretty wide on some of these. It's because of low volume. I'm looking at the chain. The chain is very low volume. If you go to this week's chain, I mean, there's some okay volume, honestly. I mean, it's not as bad as I've seen before on some of them, but you're right, the spreads are terrible. Terrible. What I would do is I would try to act like right in the middle of the spread is like probably where the market is. And you can also just look at the last traded price as well. And you can gauge like the spreads and see where the trades are happening. It's weird though. Jake, it was 50,000. Sorry, I just went over it, so I'm going to wait a couple minutes again. But yeah, it came in at 50,000. TSLA bouncing off 425. Nice move there on the daily candle. Let's see this support on Tesla. A big zone's holding up there around 429, 430. INTC, second leg up. Intel, Lip Bhutan. Coming through with some positivity. Look at yesterday, close. That's when they really started running. And then today, they are popping again. But yeah, Trump made a post about them. Let me actually find it. I had Truth Social open, don't I? Oh, man, I must have closed it again. There we are. All right, let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Here it is. I just finished a great meeting with the very successful Intel CEO, Lip Bhutan. Intel just launched the first sub-2 nanometer CPU processor designed, built, and packaged right here in the USA. The United States government is proud to be a shareholder of Intel and has already made, through its USA ownership position, tens of billions of dollars for the American people. In just 4 months, we made a great deal, and so did Intel. Our country is determined to bring leading-edge chip manufacturing back to America, and that is exactly what is happening. Very interesting there. Could not believe all the positives about Intel, really hyping it up. I guess it always looks better since the government's making money and, you know, they're they're buying Intel, so. But yeah, nice move there, Blue-Eyed Wolf. They did have some news, which was nice. Yeah, Jake, whenever we're looking at the jobs data today, they were looking, analysts were looking for 60,000 on the number. The jobs data ended up coming in at 50,000. So that's pretty good. It shows that essentially the jobs market softened just a little bit more. It's not like it really softened by a ton or anything, but it did soften. INTC. Let's see. Bought more leaps on the dip. You did, Bob. On which stock? Oklo? Oh, yeah. That's what you meant. Talking about that 1,600 overnight. That was a great jump for anyone holding Oklo. That's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. How's Rigetti? Mom Spaghetti. Not doing much today. UPS. Hey, UPS with another pop today. UPS just keeps popping in the short term. That's funny. Let's go see Bank of America again. BOC. Or BAC. Sorry. I was reading B of A on a piece of news here, and yeah, BAC. Nice resistance there. 56.57, 56.55. Rejecting down again today, unfortunately. These banks were ripping yesterday morning again. They had a really good day on Monday. Really good day. So I've been keeping them on the radar, but seems like not a lot of opportunity today. New scale, SMR. Nice jump today. Big move in pre-market with the other nuclear stocks, energy stocks. APLD, Applied Digital. 35.50. Up 10% plus. $32 holding really well. APLD is breaking through a trend line. Oh yeah, look at that overhead trend. They're breaking through it. They tested it even after breaking through it and popped right off of it. There we go. Man, that's a really good move, though, UPS again. I gotta say, that lower range is starting to get broken like crazy. Thing's blasting off. If I had bought 2 contracts in opening, yeah, SNDK printing. Yeah, if you did, all right. It was a good move. Yeah, all the way up towards 365. It is slowing up a little bit now. We'll see if this turnover materializes more. I think that there's definitely a possibility of that. SPY really testing this lower range of the morning, 690.50 to 690.40. It has bounced here quite a bit. Lee said, how do you feel about gold and silver today? I feel pretty good about it. They were doing pretty good earlier this morning. They're probably going to get slower and consolidate a bit because they had those nice moves early on. Silver's actually still trying to keep it going, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got a little slower on the day. But I still think heading into next week, they can still be great. You know, we might see another gap up again. That's the big thing lately. We keep seeing big gap ups and weird stuff like that, so. You sold at the top, Aoli said. Hey, That's nice, at least. Hitting it hard on the head today. Sometimes you get lucky at the top and always feels good. In 9 minutes, the Supreme Court will open up Opinions Day. I believe it'll take some time, but we'll see what they do with the tariffs. How's Kalshi looking? 32.1%. Oh, it's starting to swing more in favor of them voting for Trump. Not really in favor, but just it's swinging closer to that direction. Interesting Supreme Court decision here. See how that ruling goes. I know a lot of people have some crazy opinions about that ruling. One of my biggest things is if we have to really refund those payments, that could be a lot of money that these companies just essentially get out of nowhere. So new SNDK high is incoming. That's really where the fun is today. SNDK about to touch a new high. We will not refund for a decade. That would be interesting, right? It's so speculative right now. What in the world's going on here? My gosh, in the Profits channel, we got this guy, Champ, out here. Posts up 165K gains. Holy shit. Didn't they make a post like yesterday? Where'd their other posts go? Yeah, the other day Champ had made $6 grand in a day. Let me go back. There was a bigger one somewhere. Here we go. On the 6th, which I believe was like Tuesday or Monday, Champ made 39K on one day on some Intel options. Holy shit. 165K though today alone. And the crazy part was almost all of that came, like they only had like what? They had like 13 grand in their account or something like that left when they hit on this. Holy shit. Be careful, Champ. Don't give it all back on some crazier trades. But damn, if you keep hitting stuff like that. Robert. Hey, boss, thoughts on NSA? Stay blessed. Thank you for the super chat, Robert. As always. I like NSA. You know, it was called out on the 6th on Tuesday. It's done nothing but rip since then. I'm a big fan. I think right now it might be a little bit too high. You might want to wait for a little bit of a pullback because, you know, you kind of missed the boat on this one in a way. But overall, I'm a big fan of NSA here. I think it looks awesome. This play has more than enough time to still recover up even more in my eyes. And I love the way it's bouncing off support. I mean, that is a perfect support bounce. I love setups like this. This was one of my favorite big money trades of recent, actually. Thank you for the super, though. User made 30%. There you go. Hell yeah. SNDK still moving too. Just got to 365 now. Yeah, everybody go hype up Champ in there. That is badass. Hype up Champ in the Profits channel. Give him some love there. Hey, user. Appreciate you. With the 5 spot. Hell yeah. Love your channel, and this live is clutch. Love the kind words, user. Thank you. Coconut said, these people only post gains and never post losses. Yeah, it is a profits channel, so it's meant to hype you up. I noticed that their account was at like 60,000 on like Tuesday, and then it dropped to like 13,000. So it was getting close for him there. It was getting close for him, Coconut. That's for sure. But today's pop will make up for it. But it's always good to have some positivity, though, right? Always good to not always have negatives there. Yeah, holy shit, Aioli, that's crazy. They must be doing some risky trades, though, I gotta say. I hope that they play it nice. Play it smartly. Steve says, don't forget to hype me up. Yeah, a lot of it is, Steve. A lot of it was. Because you're getting too risky with the account. But if If they take it very slow now, it'd be nice, but man, I don't think that that's gonna happen. Down in some Gatorade today. How's Pepsi? I haven't looked at Pepsi stock in a long time. Kind of funny. Wow, they're down quite a bit with Pepsi. Time to buy up the dip. KO's been a lot better in my eyes. I guess they've been kind of weak too, but just not as straight down. KO's trying to bounce back here past couple days. McDonald's coming up. Down about net 0.9% today, but they've been doing pretty good. Steve, do not compare yourself to others. Stick to your rules and your plans. Any news on the tariffs yet? No, I haven't seen it. They're just opening up Opinions Day. Yeah, the way that this works with the opinions for Opinion Day, they could open up and do a ruling, but that doesn't mean that they have to. Uh-oh. They're not going to be ruling on it today, I just saw. Uh-oh, it says they will not make a ruling. The Supreme Court trap. It says that they will not rule in the tariff case today. Tommy Cruise. That is hilarious. In the Discord. Looks like we're not going to be hearing about that today now. Let's see how that impacts the market. Demir's out of here. Peace. Sounds good. Have a great one. Have a great one. See you, Demir. Yeah, it's weird, Bob. You know, I had to do a lot of research yesterday on how they do these opinion days and stuff, and the past few days we've been doing it, but I've been looking into it a lot, and with the opinion day, it's weird. So, like, whenever the Supreme Court goes to do a ruling, they don't have to have, like, a set date or anything like that. Like, for example, like, if they could have, like it says there, like, they decided not to do the ruling today. Like, right? Like, it's a bit strange. Like, there's multiple opportunities to open up the court, so to say, and start voting on different things. There's multiple opportunities there. SPY's not liking that so far. Straight to the downside here, 690. It was a big waste of enthusiasm. Yup. Yeah, it was. No problem, user. Thank you. Lots of work, but it's fun. Fool. You got a wild name there, fool. That means that they're not on Trump's side, preparing for the impact. Oh, I don't know about that. We'll see. Pretty crazy, though. He's a mob boss, plus he's just doing what he's told. Robert Barnes thinks the court will not rule for Trump. Man, the market really did not like that today. Holy shit. SPY is selling off all the way down towards big support of the week around 689.30, and it's even breaking through that now. Oh gosh. I just saw something that said June is the next opinion date after today. June? Is that real? I can't confirm that or not. Sometimes these X sources, you never know. So I'm going to take that one with a big question mark over it. I'm sure we'll hear about that more at some point, but just because it's not maybe an opinions day or something, I don't know. Maybe they can do something else. I have no idea, but that's what I would think. Stupid house just got to drag their feet on this BS, Jake says. Just sub. Thanks for what you do. Thanks, Liberty Bins. Appreciate the sub. What an interesting morning. SPY did end up bouncing at our support, 689.30. This has been a big level the past few days, even couple weeks. I've seen multiple bounces here. Doesn't mean it's going to hold up all day, but seems like for right now, at least, it's trying to hold. Got a SoFi call at 6.00 and sold at 6.85. Nice. Sounds good. Sorry, guys, just checking something really quick. What was the biggest gain you've ever seen in the Discord? I saw a couple years ago, there was somebody named Icy Pro, and they had like Nokia call options, I believe it was. And they ended up getting, like, they ended up making like $1 million in like a couple days, but they didn't sell. And then they lost that whole $1 million back and then some. And I'm not quite sure. I'm not like 100% sure there, but I think that they made more in the end, or you know, made some more profit as time went on, but I'm just not sure on that initial there. It was wild. It was wild. Let me see if I can pull it up, actually. Because I could probably find it here. All right, here we go. Let me go check here. Hang on, let me just see if I can. Tesla's ripping though, guys. Tesla's looking great. Yeah, here you go. Check this out. This is from August 11th of 2023. Here's some of the gains. Like, here's RIG showing literally 1 million in gains there. And see how he says, welcome to the not selling. 800K. Hey, Jake. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the 10 spot. Let's go. Thanks to Tom, the community, for the great info. Appreciate that, Jake. Let's go. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That is awesome. Appreciate it as always. Jake, thanks, Tom, the community, for all the great info. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it as always. Tesla ripping up to new highs of the day. SPY is attempting to keep recovering here as well. Want to make me 1 million? Step 1, get 10 million or buy my book. Go buy the book. That's funny. That is funny. Are you watching iShowSpeed's Africa tour? Yeah, on Tupperware. I know, right? Oh, hang on. I think that they changed it. I think they changed their tickers back. But it was. You was ripping but took a hard tumble today. Yeah, they were doing pretty good, like with SMR and the others this morning, but you're right. Big turnover there. SMR, same deal. What was the one really ripping? Oklo did a deal with Meta and they were ripping into oblivion there. What's with Pew? The bullet? Or no, grab a gun. That's what it is. Let's say the bullet manufacturer. Nope. Grab a gun. 13% PEW. Very low right now. Wow. Grab a gun, digital holdings. I can't quite remember what this one is. Grab a gun. I know the website. I just... Let me go to it really quick. Yeah, so like you. Oh my god, I'm on this gun website. Grab a gun, like, for this ticker, Pew. I would show it, but YouTube doesn't like these things, but, this is pretty hilarious here. This thing, I don't know how, but They have this stuff on here where it says shoot now, pay later financing. Finance up to $5,000. Up to 60 months. Holy shit, 60 months? Imagine buying a gun and paying it off for 60 months. Oh my God. What do they allow people to do? You go to grab a quote. Instead of grab a gun, you go to grab a quote. That's funny. Oh, shit. It is moving up, though, today pretty well. 13%. Trump stock. Hey! Jennifer, I agree. Great trade/chat group, Tom. Appreciate it, Jennifer. Appreciate that. I agree. Love it, Jennifer. Thank you for the 5 spot as well. Big Macs all around today. Tessie ripping through 440 here. What was your best trade of the week this week, Jennifer? I didn't place it this week, but UPS has been mine. Imagine paying a car for 60 months. Well, that's what everyone does. Yeah, though, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's just like that. Yep. You can finance new cars for up to 96 months. I know they tried to get my damn fiance on that. My fiance goes, "Oh yeah, on this car, it's only going to be like $500 a month," they said. And I was like, $500 a month? I'm like, that's like a $50,000 car. What the hell are you doing? And I looked and I was like, holy shit. They had her out to like an 86 or 84 month loan. Some bullshit like that. I was like, hey. I was like, no. I'm like, look, you can't just do that so that you can get a lower payment. I'm like, that's not how that works. I'm like, don't do that. Yeah, that's crazy though, Zachary. I couldn't imagine someone like literally financing for 96 months. That's crazy. Outlaw says 60 months. How much is a gun? They're only like, I don't know. Most of them are like probably like $1,000. I'd say on average or something. Not that crazy. Is it wise to chase a fill on an option or stay firm on my initial bid price? You can always chase a fill, Xavier. You can always chase a fill. It gets to a point though, if you're like looking at a stock moving, like let's say, let me just hypothetically look at something like, I don't know, Oklo, I guess. Well, these are really bad examples. All right, let's go over here. So let's say, just hypothetically, that you're watching Oklo, right? Let's say that you see this big red candle that I'm pointing to initially come in. you know, you're like, okay, that's a big red candle. It's a big shift on the price action today. I'm going to be looking at puts now. And then you see the second red candle come in. And as that candle sells down, you know, you keep chasing it, right? You're trying to get filled, but you can't. So then you eventually get filled like at the bottom end of the candle, right? It starts to come back and you get kind of stuck in the chop zone. That could happen, right? You know, if you're chasing a fill like that, if you don't get the overall move to continue the way that you want. Now, in this case, where it started to bottom out, bounce off support, once you saw it start to come back, let's just say you entered right here. Now, you know, if you have to chase or you're trying to enter, you know, and it keeps moving up, but you could tell, like, even if you chased it and you entered, let's say, right here. Now, I know this isn't the option, but, like, again, it just gives you a visual. Let's say you entered there. You know, of course, it would have been okay to chase because then it keeps going, right? But there will be times where you chase like that, and then it turns around on you, and you stop out faster and stuff. So keep that in mind. You know, just make sure that you're looking at, okay, where's the stop loss going to be? What's it looking like? And everything like that. Damn, is the DJI gonna hit 50K next week? What? DJI? Oh, the Dow Jones, yeah. Sorry. I was thinking about those weird drones that people fly around. You know those DJI drones that they use? I don't know why I thought of that at first. But yeah, Dow Jones, it might hit it. Oh, I was going to say it might hit it today. I would doubt it, but yeah, it could easily hit it next week. Maybe even Monday. Yeah, they make mics too. Yep. I've actually looked into buying a lot of them. Brain. Yeah, Jason said, Tom, I see that shit all the time. Remember, I sell cars. Do they actually do that pretty often? Osmo Action 5 Pro with a couple of mics. I was looking at the Pocket 3, but I might even go for like the Action. Just sold my open calls for a gain of 300%. Happy birthday month, Tom. Well, hey, happy birthday to you with the calls today. Wow, nice. 300% on open door. Holy crap. That was a good jump there. 19.3% today. Wow, open. That was a crazy jump. You're bullish on Novo, NVO, but you're bearish on HIMS. I love NVO off this lower range. Holy shit, NVO really rocketed up here today and this week. Wow. I just got out of Hims. Amazon selling all the same stuff now. You got out of Hims, HIMS. Wow, that was a big pullback by Hims and Hers. It's testing a big trend line. HIMS is starting to break down in a massive way. I'm actually a big fan of this one to the downside right now. I think it looks fantastic for put opportunities. I'm actually with you right there. Yeah, my NVO shares are on fire. Up 23%. It's on fire. How's DraftKings off of yesterday's move? Pulling back, of course. Yep. Not looking great for Hims. Let's see how it goes next week. HIMS. Yeah, it's looking pretty bad. If it falls off on that daily, I think it could get a lot worse. I might even be looking into some puts here if it pulls back up a little bit today, because pretty confident in it myself. Gap up on LUV. Southwest. Wow, yeah, the airlines continue here. American Airlines tried to pop today. UAL, not the best, but yeah, we did see some good action. Wingstop. I have eaten Wingstop a ton the past few weeks. Louisiana Rub. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. That used to be all I got there at Wingstop, but now I do the OG Hot. I do the OG Hot with ranch, and I actually buy extra cups of the hot sauce from there and use that as well. But the OG Hot there is like my favorite sauce for wings anywhere. My mouth is like literally watering right now thinking about it. I'm actually eating them for lunch today, because I bought it last night as like a second dinner. And then what I did was I ate all the French fries. And then I just saved the boneless chicken for today. But yeah. Wingstop 281. Recent resistance. I like the way it's bouncing down here. Not just because I ate it. That's not the reason I like the stock. It does seem to be holding this base pretty well. If it starts to turn over at the base, I'll be pretty worried about it though. But yeah, Wingstop. It's in a weird spot. It had been doing really good over the past few years since they hit the market, but over the past 2 years specifically, it got really shaky here. Trying to see if they can come up off this base, though. It'd be nice. Yeah, I get it. I get all types of RSB. I love the bone-in one, don't get me wrong, but sometimes they'll have a good deal or something, and I'm just like, hey, I'll take the deal. You like the honey hot? I'll have to try that one. Has anyone tried this hot sauce from Dustin Poirier, the UFC? I have not. I think I remember hearing about it, though, a while ago. Coconut said there's a reason why car dealerships have pretty people in the finance offices. Hey, if you've seen all the ones I've dealt with, ooh, nobody's pretty, I'll tell you that. I've dealt with nasty, overweight, bald men. I don't know what to say. It's never anyone nice. I need to come where you are. Chipotle's recovering since November. CMG, Chipotle Mexican Grill. Yeah, 1.7%. Nice daily move there. We got an hourly chart. Love $40 overhead. It's been really consistent the past week. It seems like it rips it open every single day and then dies off in the afternoon. So get ready for it to sell off this afternoon. Might not be a bad idea to start looking into some put options for the afternoon, actually. I mean, it's so consistent. Did it here? Did it here? Did it here? Did it here? 4 days in a row leading up to today. Will today be number 5? It is about to hit 40. Maybe that would be a good zone for it. For you to start trying to snipe it. I did hear about that manicure. I saw a lot of people sharing the article. I didn't read it, but I mean, it sounds dumb to me, honestly. We'll have to see how, what happens with it, but I want to get some more info there. People, I feel like I see stuff like that like every year though, but let's see. Yeah, so they're hit with lawsuit claiming that there's no real rib meat in it. That's what I initially saw. Oh my god. Here's what's going on, guys. This is the dumbest shit. They said that they're using pork shoulders and hearts instead of using actual rib meat. So instead of using the ribs, they're using pork shoulder and pork heart, apparently. McDonald's says it's meritless. Yeah, I think that that's the dumbest lawsuit. I hope that that person loses. I normally don't hope that people lose against big companies like this, but in this case, I really hope that they lose. This sounds like the dumbest lawsuit I've ever heard. Yeah, it's dumb. They're doing it because they're literally saying it does not contain pork rib meat at all, as they advertise being a rib, like a McRib. Of course, there's not pork rib meat, but there is pork shoulder meat. See, it's pork shoulder mainly that they probably use or source for this. And then they make it look like ribs, right? Yeah, I think I'm totally fine with it. I think it's the dumb lawsuit. I hope they lose. You'll never change my mind on this one. Yeah, exactly. Like their understanding of what a rib is, like that's exactly the problem there. Yeah. Jackson's family trying to sue him? Yeah. Yep. It's weird. It's weird. You get lots of weird stuff going on with that in the U.S., it feels like. Sometimes I think it's needed because, it helps keep people on their toes more. People are afraid to do dumb stuff to other people. But at the same time, I think some of it gets silly, like in this case. I know you guys probably that are older than me, you guys probably have a ton of funny lawsuits that you've heard about over the years. Again, some good, some bad, but they're always interesting, right? Palantir's holding this double bottom, trying to bounce back. It's up 0.57%. Oh my God, Brain. Brain, that's gross. IKEA got sued in the early 2000s for putting horse meat in their meatballs. What? Now that one would make me upset. Coffee too hot? Sue. Yeah, now that one is weird, Coconut. Did you ever see the burns that lady had? I actually had to learn about that in like in a college class for something. It was crazy. We like dissected that whole entire thing. Gosh, it was crazy. It was for some type of business class, but man, it was wild. We had to like make up arguments and arguments for and against and have evidence and all this stuff, and it was pretty crazy. Anyone following Burry in the Palantir put trade? I am not. At least not right now. I'm definitely open to puts on it, though, if we do see it pull back hard. Let's go check out the banks again. Nothing crazy. How about go back to LUV, Southwest Airlines, which was on fire today. Looks like they started pulling back a little bit now, but they were ripping. Wow, like really ripping. Oh my God, Brain. If that turned out to be that, I would... Beyond Meat stock would go to 0, I think. I guess it is Beyond Meat. Something you never would have thought. It's still meat, though. 82 cents, 80 cents. Man, it's really holding this lower support range pretty well. What should we get for lunch today, guys? I think it's Special Lunch Friday. What do you guys think? Throw out some ideas for me. I knew it. I knew you were gonna say that, Brain. There's lots of horses here in Missouri, too. There's actually a lot of, like, horse, like, riding places around here. Like, it's weird. Like, you can go take your horse and, like jumps and stuff like that. Chicken broccoli Alfredo. I don't have the time to make it. I'd have to find out where to get that. How's SPY looking here? Let's go back to SPY because everything else is kind of boring. SPY's trying to bounce off 691.50. Big Mac Friday, Zachary says. That one's up there on the list. For sure. Hey, Ailey says, I don't know, but I might get Wingstop. You know what? I just got Wingstop for that, so I don't know why I'm even saying that. I literally have lunch right there. How dare I? Salmon for you. There you go. That sounds good. No. Oh, God, Wes. Everyone new to the chat's going to be like, what the fuck? Yeah, brain can get wild sometimes, guys. Sorry. There's not going to be any horses harmed in today's activities, I promise. Let's go see Wingstop again. I might need to actually get some stock on this one. Seriously, I love the way it's bouncing off the lower range. UPS is doing great again, too. Love it. It'd be nice if they ran up more this afternoon, but Rigetti's trying to hold support here, bouncing off support closer to 21.50 to 22. It's been holding pretty well. If it starts to jump up to the top end of its range, I could see Rigetti making some pretty nice PA. QUBT and SMR ran up nice, then boom. QUBT, Quantum Computing Inc. Quantum and nuclear started off great today and now dropped way back. Yeah, they did. SMR was one of the bigger drop-offs that I was looking at here this morning. Oh, wow, they actually recovered, but then died again. Funny enough, Oklo had that nice jump this morning with that deal with Meta, but again, pulled back like crazy. Yeah, you mentioned QUBT specifically. QUBT, now that's a different ball game there. The Quantums, my gosh. Looks like a rocket ship. Aoli said, I think UPS will do great on their earnings this month, especially the next quarter because more oil supply, lower prices. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, those do help. That definitely does help UPS quite a bit. They have a long way to go too. So if they could get another good gap up, it'd be pretty badass for this year. This would be pretty far out, but I really like this gap up to 133. I would love to see UPS get towards 130, 133. I think that would be perfect. Perfect for it. You went to school in Springfield, Missouri. Wow, nice. I've played baseball in Springfield quite a few times. And I've been there for the Springfield Farm Show like 7 times as well. My dad's hydraulic business goes down there and we run a booth. Although it's my business now, but yes. We always ran a booth there. UPS started their contract with USPS. Really? That's nice. Hopefully that helps them. Springfield, though, that's pretty awesome, Butch. I'm around St. Louis area myself. UPS started that contract. Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool. Filet mignon? Hey, now that would be perfect for lunch today. Xavier said, how long did you play baseball? Pretty much my whole life, Xavier. My whole entire life. But mainly from, I think I joined T-ball league whenever I was like 2 to 3 years old. I think my mom said like 2.5. Yeah, I played a lot though. I would have went to college for it, but I didn't want to just go play at like some shitty college, you know, like some JUCO school or like Div 3 or something, you know. I didn't want to go play if I was not gonna be for real with it, you know. Same here. Played T-ball until varsity high school. There you go. Yeah, that's badass. That's awesome. I did play some men's leagues after high school, but I eventually hurt my arms. My pitching arm, I hurt, and then my batting shoulder, I tore a rotator cuff. Did you love it or kind of got burned out? You know, I really did love it. I never really got burned out on it either. I just knew I wasn't gonna go anywhere. I weigh like 130 pounds, you know, like what like what are they gonna do? QQQ 625.30. Just don't tear up your trading arm. I know. Gotta be able to click. Oh gosh, Xavier, it's taken me a long time to get that slice to go bye-bye. Last year, I finally kicked it, though. I now draw it only. Manicure says, I'm from the Lou and I'm proud. You must love Nelly. You're wondering about your son. Would like to put him in sports, but don't really want to push him if he doesn't want to do it. You know, whenever I was growing up, I never understood that. Some kids, I guess, just don't like it. It blows my mind, though, that some people could somehow not like any sports. I feel like you have to get them involved in it, like when they're young or something, so that they get used to it and kind of like it or something. Maybe watching it on TV, even, stuff like that. I don't know. I'm worried about that myself with my daughter. I don't know what to do with sports. We're going to play golf and stuff, but, you know, I'm scared of her not liking it either, you know, or my son, when I have him, hopefully he likes baseball or something. I know, like, as a kid, I really liked baseball because we'd always go to the St. Louis Cardinals games. You know, it's like, no matter what, like 3 or 4 times a year, maybe more, we would just go to the Cardinals game. It's just, that's just what you do in St. Louis, you know? $176.50. That's like all we got here. No, I'm kidding. Come on, where's this action? SPY, nice and boring for us to end the week. Nvidia, choppy and sideways. Break even on the day, essentially. I'm glad Tesla is pointing higher. That's the only good move out of the Mag 7 today. Sean said, always leave the golf course while it's still fun. There's a fine line. Yeah. Yeah, there is. There is. It's tough with kids at the course, too. I feel bad there. I kind of hope my daughter gets into it and starts getting into some of those, like, youth competitions where they like chip and putt or something, or, you know, like kids playing their own modified par 4s and stuff. You try to get your daughter into jiu-jitsu. Whoa. Man, Tesla's doing pretty good, though. I like how it's holding 440 for now. We might see a new high of the day post here soon. Hopefully we do get a nice continuation trade possibility going there. Other than that, though, man, everything seems pretty slow and dead today. I'm going to be honest. Pretty rough morning. Pretty rough price action overall. SNDK does not stop going higher. SanDisk, there we go, 9.6%. Any idea why Tesla's moving up today? No news? Let's check the news. I don't think so. It says Tesla's China sales rise 13.2% in December to clock best month ever. They sold 93,843 vehicles in China during the month of December, recording 13.2% year-over-year growth. That's 31.2% quarter-over-quarter growth, too. They said it was the best month ever sales-wise for Tesla. Let me show you guys the picture here on the post. Yeah, so there was some news for Tesla here. Here we go. See December 25, how it's higher than all the rest. Their China retail sales had the best month ever. That's pretty crazy. Sounds great, though, for them. Yeah, Tesla, ripping, like it. I like to see it. What's the best place to get news from? My news didn't have anything on Tesla. I normally go on X a lot and look for news, but I have Thinkorswim by Charles Schwab, and whenever you look at it, they have this news tab, and you can like pop it out, and I pop it out and throw it up here, and you can see it right now how they list off like all the news for that specific stock that you search up, and I love it. Yeah, I love it. Shout out to Schwab and Thinkorswim. My opinion, top platform out there, one of them. Definitely number one for me, but I also really like to use something called Stock Labs. If you go to stocklabs.com/news, I'm going to throw this link in the chat really quick. Stocklabs.com/news. It'll show you all the good X posts. What you can do is you can add a filter and you can type in Tesla or $TSLA or just TSLA. And it'll search everything with Tesla. So this morning, yeah, you can see, let's see. Oh, wow, they don't even have that news here. Weird, I don't even see that news here on Stock Labs. But it definitely is on Thinkorswim, which gives me confidence. Very surprised I didn't see that on there at all, but that is some good news. They sold off hard at open, but immediately came back. Seems like that news is going a bit under the radar, if I had to say. Sorry guys, just doing something really quick. TradingView News tab is pretty good. Use it a lot. Yeah, TradingViews isn't bad either. Where is it? Right here. Where's the news, though? News. Here we go. Let's go see what they have to say. Do they have the news on here? The hell? I'll have to edit some of this up, of course. I don't do this all the time. I don't see any news here. Let's see. Top left. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. They don't really have any news on there related to this. Interesting. I see now. The bubble that says January 7th, click it. I didn't even know what... Man, I'm lost, man. I don't know what you mean. I don't see a bubble. Nothing says Jan 7 on here either. Oh. There's a bubble here. I mean, man, I still don't see it. Under the price of Tesla. What? Oh, this stupid thing. This thing? That's so stupid. Yeah, this is dumb. TradingView needs to fix this shit. They need to make this better. This is clunky as hell. This is why I use Thinkorswim for it. It's right here. They're gonna make me rage on TradingView here today. Tesla is still moving though. Tesla might break through 444. I thought I was looking for like a button or something. Like I was like, I didn't even, that doesn't look like a bubble to me. It was like text, you know? Silly. It should say like click here for news or something, you know? Or look like it something more news related or something. Jeez. Damn rage bait, yeah. So much on these platforms nowadays. My gosh. QQQ, new high of the morning. Looking pretty solid again. Palantir trying as well. All right, we'll take it. Solid PA. But on that, we're probably going to end it there, guys. SPY's getting pretty boring on us. I guess it's moving up now again. Got towards that high of the day, but it is starting to get some action. Maybe watch that all-time high coming up around 694. Very back and forth here this morning. My gosh. Down, up, down, up, down, up. I mean, I guess it's like that a lot of times, but seems pretty volatile today with everything going on. The Supreme Court came out and pulled that reversal on us, not looking at Trump's, they're not going to be looking at Trump's tariffs today, not ruling on it, so we'll see if maybe things get better in that sense over the coming days. Coming weeks, maybe we'll hear more about it, but for now, no ruling. Your son tried taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, basketball, swimming, soccer. Age 7, he mainly sticks to soccer and swimming. There you go. Soccer's fun. Yeah, whatever he likes. That's cool that he's done so much, though. Swimming's pretty cool. I've noticed that, Jeanette. I think a couple people were behind, actually. From what it sounded like. Appreciate you, Drew. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining up as always this week, making the community badass. Hope to see you in the Discord here. If not, have a great weekend. I hope you guys crush it out there in the stock market. We've been seeing a lot of crazy action lately. SPY might make new all-time highs here soon. Getting pretty close today. Not very far off. Alrighty, see you guys later. Have a good one.